have to stop the live stream.
Good evening, parents and players. Welcome to Aldo Arena, home of the Flyers. If you are able, could you please rise for a moment of silence in honor of a young man that has taken far too soon from our hockey community. Number 86 from Upper York, Nolan Ohio. Thank you. Have a good meeting, boys.
All right, here we go. Game 2. Flyers versus the Jaguars. Middlehurst takes the draw, gets it over the blue line for Arkema. He brings it to the near corner. It's pinned. Middlehurst chips it out. Arkema lost it. Stolen by the Jaguars. They'll play it up to center ice. Kraus off the near boards. Played back into the Flyers zone by the Jaguars. The blue line off of Mason. Back to Kraus. Kraus looking, gets it up to Mason at the blue line. Mason takes it to the far corner. Throws it out front. Past everybody. Jaguars pick it up, play it to the blue line and out. Kraus back in his own zone. He'll throw it off the boards to Middlehurst at the blue line. Picks it up himself. Misplayed, kicks it to Campbell. Back to Middlehurst. Sends across for Kraus on the far side at the blue line for Arkema. He'll take it wide. Behind the net, thrown out front off the pads, picked up by the Jaguars, and they'll skate it to the blue line and out. Good play by Critchley to break that rush up. Critchley in over the blue line. Around the 1D. Lets a shot go. Block, save, glove down by the Jaguars goaltender. Brown steps in to take the draw. Keeping the Jaguars end. Brown wins it. Tribble plays it off the Jaguar skate. They'll send that down the ice. That'll be too far and go for icing. Brown steps back in to take the draw. To the left of the Jaguars goaltender. From draw. Jaguars off the ref's skates. Critchley gets it into the corner. Behind the net, Brown throws it off the side of the net. Critchley picks it up, brings it to the near corner. Critchley to Brown. Brown holds it in the corner. Out front for Hobart on the point. Shot. He scores. Flyers goal scored by number 19, Jackson Hobart. Assisted by number 86, Alex Brown. 13-18 to go in the first period. Middlehurst steps back in to take the draw. Jaguars win it. Play back to their D to the near wing, up to center ice. They'll bring it in over the blue line. Cross ice to the far side, shot. Bad save by Milks. Played to the far corner. Picked up by Brady. He sends it across. Ramona's waiting at the Flyers blue line. Chipped in to Martin at the Jaguars end. Martin to the near corner. Plays it behind the net. Mona's back to Martin. Martin tried to play it to Middlehurst. He gets a piece of it to the near boards. Picked up by the Jaguars at the blue line. They'll skate it back into Flyers territory. Shot missed wide. Rebound to the half boards. Picked up by the Jaguars. Shot was blocked. They'll fire it to the near corner. Thompson screening over the far side. Noakes makes the save. He'll hold that for the whistle. Brown steps in to take the draw in the Flyers zone. He wins it to Krause, plays it around behind the net to Campbell in the near corner. Up to Mason. Mason couldn't clear it. Krause to the blue line, kept in by the Jaguars to the near corner. Campbell picks it up. Gets the brakes, comes up the near side, off the boards. Held there, tipped. Milk sticks out the foot to make that save. Arkema at the hash mark, sends it across, intended for Mason. Intercepted by the Jaguars back at center ice. Jaguars in over the blue line. Arkema strips it to the blue line out. Off of Arkema, he drives it up to center ice. Brown picks it up in the Jaguars end. Takes it to the near side. Throws it on net off the side of the mesh. Brown at the far side. Arkema gets a piece of it, brings it back to the corner. Hits the brakes. Arkema under pressure, two men on him. Jaguars get it to the near side. Mason. Drop pass off the boards for Arkema. Out front for Brown. Doesn't get all of it. Slipped underneath the goalie's glove. Mason couldn't find it. There's a whistle. Problem with the net. Middlehurst in for the draw. One by the Jaguars. They'll play it behind the net to the near side. Clark gets there first to Hobart at the point. He'll turn, fire it to Middlehurst in the slot. Bouncing puck touched by the Jaguars to the far boards. Going back out front, Clark with a shot off the side of the net. Critchley kicks it to a stick to the far corner. Tries to hit Hobart, intercepted by the Jaguars. They'll bring it up. Three strong and over the Flyers blue line. Walks it front, shot. Milks makes the save, rebound in the near corner. Hobart keeps it in the corner. Jaguars throw it out front. Tribble picks it up, gets it to Critchley. Critchley in over the blue line. Cross ice intended for Clark. Keep your stick down, boys. Clark battles. Puck comes to the blue line and out. Hobart gets back first, settles it down in his own zone. All kinds of pressure. Jaguars push him to the far corner. Critchley at the half boards, chips it to the blue line and out. Back to Critchley. He gets pinned in over the blue line. Critchley tries to send it through the defense. Picks it up behind the net, sends it out front. Middlehurst, got to get your stick on the ice. Haven't heard that yet. Jaguars fire it down the near wing. Icing's waved off. Brady back to pick it up. Brady out the far side to the half boards. Chipped back in the zone by the Jaguars to Tribble. He'll send it off the near wing for Martin. Jaguars keep it in. Pass through the blue crease. Mona's overskated it. Back to Brady in the far corner. Brady off the boards to Mona's. He touches that. Puck settles down at the Jaguars' blue line. They'll send it right back in the Flyer zone. Icing's waved off. Brady waits behind his net. Gets it set up. Throws it up front. Intended for Brown. He touches that to the Jaguar zone. Cleared in off of Mona's. Mona's to the far corner. He skates behind the net to the near wing. Brown steps in to help him out. Back to Mona's. Mona's drop pass for Thompson at the point. Shot. And Flyers penalty. Two minutes for hooking. Number 29, Jackson Martin. 9:03 to go in the first period. Brown steps in to take the draw. Scrum draw. Brown gets it to the blue line. Jaguars keep it in off the near boards. They tried to get it to the blue line. Thompson picks up that loose puck and fires it down into the Jaguars' far corner. Brown in on the forecheck. Got a piece of it to the near corner to the half boards. Jaguars turn around to the far wing. Picked off there by Monas. He lets Chuck off the post. Rebound out front. Brown couldn't quite get there. Cleared to the blue line. Brown kept it in. Takes it to the far wing. Brown tries to get it in front for Monas. Bumps his man. Gets the puck to the corner. He gets dumped. That's no call. Jaguars pick it up. Skate it up to their blue line. Stretch pass in the Flyers' territory. That'll go for icing. Looks like they gave Martin a double minor. Mason steps in to take the draw. Mason with a quick shot, intercepted by the Jaguars defense before that went in the net. Jaguars to the near half boards. Passed up to their own blue line. They'll take that into the Flyer zone himself. Shot over the shoulder and in. I don't think Milks was expecting that shot. Mason steps in to take the draw. Wins it forward into the Jaguar zone. Arkema applying pressure in the near corner. Jaguars off the backboards to the far side. Played to the near wing and out. Campbell rushing, gets a piece of it, sends it back in the Jaguar zone. Arkema still on them. Jaguars turn, play back to the near side. Before skating up the near wing and out. Backhand pass into Flyers territory. Campbell got a piece of that and sends it down the ice. Mason in on the forecheck. Follows him around the net. Jaguars up to their own blue line and out. This play chipped back to the Flyers' end. Kraus in the far corner, turns, fires it up the boards. Comes to the blue line and not out. Held there by the Jaguars. Arkema got a piece of it to the blue line. That'll clear. Mason picks up the loose puck, takes it down the far side, just runs out of room. Jaguars to the near wing. Up through center, back in Flyers territory. Hobart swiping at it. Arkema strips it. He'll turn and fire that on net. Jaguars goaltender plays it to the far corner. They'll bring it up the near wing. Cross center. Flyers own shot. Nooks makes the save. Rebound sat there. He'll cover it for the whistle. He's expecting his defense to take it, but Middlehurst in for the draw. 34 seconds to go in the Flyers penalty. Middlehurst wins it back for Tribble. In the far corner, he sends it to the near wing for Hobart. Off the boards, past the Jaguars defense. Middlehurst applying pressure, chases them to the far corner, up to the blue line, just out of the reach of Critchley. Jaguars pick it up at center ice. In over the blue line, offside. Middlehurst in for the draw, wins it back to Thompson. He'll play it off the boards to the Jaguars' blue line. Off the Middlehurst skate, puck settles down. Critchley couldn't turn in time. Will about do it for the Flyers penalty. Brady tried to send that to Middlehurst. Middlehurst comes back in, picks it up. Martin out of the box. Poke check that just outside the Jaguars' blue line. Played up into Flyers territory. Thompson to the far wing for Brady. Up and over the glass. .5:43 to go in the first period. Middlehurst in for the draw, wins it clean behind to the far corner. Brady around the boards to the near side for Clark. Clark turns, centers it for Critchley. Gets that in over the blue line, just offside. Critchley picks it up at center ice. Sends that to Brady. Brady in over the blue line. Lets a shot go. Made the save. Wasn't sure where the puck was. Middlehurst back in to take the draw. He gets it to Critchley along the far boards. Critchley drives it to the corner. Kicks it in behind the net. Middlehurst comes up with it. Out front, shot in the chest of the goaltender. Middlehurst picks up his own rebound in the near corner. Played behind Critchley out front for Clark. Clark with the shot, he scores. Flyers goal scored by number 41, Hayden Clark. This is by number 95, Carter Middlehurst. 5:04 to go in the first period. Brown in for the draw. Won by the Jaguars, back to their own blue line. Play to the far wing. Moniz gets it to Brown. Brown in over the blue line, he scores! Flyers goal scored by number 86, Alex Brown. Assisted by number 14, Joseph Moniz. Brown steps back in for the draw, wins it to his feet, drives it forward and over the blue line. Brown takes it wide. Behind the net, Brown to the near corner. To the far side for Kraus, he kept it in. Jaguars to the blue line. Brown gets over there to keep it in. Back to Arkema to Brown. Brown gets poke checked in the far corner. Arkema steps in, shovels it behind the net. Out front to Kraus. Kraus turned, fired off the far boards, but the net's off again. Middlehurst steps in to take the draw. Refs are having a look at the net. Adding some water to freeze it in place, I guess. Middlehurst gets the draw to the near corner. Martin steps in, gets a piece of it. Brought it out front. Martin turns with the puck, gets it to Middlehurst. Middlehurst with a backhand, deflected over the net. Tribble, pinching. Cleared back to Tribble, Middlehurst. Middlehurst with the shot from the blue line off the side of the net. Puck settles down for Mason. He sends it to the far corner. Cleared off Middlehurst's jersey. Bit of a hook. And he scores. Flyers goal scored by number 95, Carter Middlehurst. Middlehurst back in for the draw. He wins it back to Thompson. Thompson to Brady. Brady gets the red line and fires it into the far corner. Comes around the near side. Martin picks it up. Gets it to Middlehurst. Middlehurst behind the goal. Out for Martin. Stripped by the Jaguars. They'll play it to their blue line and out. In over the Flyers zone. Shot blocked in front by Thompson. Loose puck picked up by the Jaguars. Shot through the crease. Mason picks it up on the far wing. He'll bring it into the Jaguar zone around the defense. Thrown out front. Middlehurst couldn't get the right angle on the backhand. Shot ended up in the near corner. Jaguars played around the far side. Brady gets there first. Back to the corner. Tipped high off of Flyers player to the blue line. Kept out by Thompson to Brady. Brady avoids a hit, gets the center ice and chips it in. Held there behind the net by the Jaguars goaltender. Cleared to the near half boards. Critchley runs over his man. Brown picks up the loose puck. To Campbell. Backing off the boards intended for Mason, stripped there by the Jaguars. Played up the center ice. Brown does a good job back checking. And Critchley back to Brown at his Flyers blue line. And he lifts that over the glass. .240 to go in the first period. Brown steps in to take the draw. Jaguars win it. Try to walk out front. Good stick by Brown to get it to the far corner. Here to the half boards. Critchley steps in. Back to Kraus in the corner. He'll send that off the boards past the Jaguars. Icing's waved off. Brown and Clark in on the forecheck. Jaguars fired around the near boards. To the blue line. Kept there by Campbell for a moment. Jaguars pick it up and bring it down the near wing. Back in Flyers territory. Brown on the back check, gets a piece of it. Critchley, he finds some room. Sends it to the far wing for Clark, just out of his reach. Drop pass picked up by Brown. He walks through traffic, shot. Deflected just wide. Critchley had his stick tied up. Played back to center. Kraus dumps it in the zone. Jaguars send it back into Flyers territory. Campbell off of Brown. Into the Jaguars territory, cleared to the blue line and out. And Flyers penalty, number 13. Owen Critchley, 2 minutes for head contact. 1:39 to go in the first period. Arkema steps in to take the draw. Jaguars win it. Shot. Blocker saved by Milks to the far corner. Arkema turns and fires it to the blue line, held there. Shot from out front. Milks makes the save. Rebound off the side of the net. Thrown out front. Milks steers that to the near corner. Loose puck in the blue paint. Nobody knows where it is. Arkema finally picks it up in the far corner. Arkema stretch pass intended for Mona's on target. Goaltender plays it to the near wing. Jaguars to the half boards. Mona's doing a good job keeping it in there. Arkema steps in to the corner. Jaguars to the half boards and out. Through center ice, Hobart swipes at it. Jaguars with possession. Shot over the net to the near boards. Back to the blue line. Jaguars send it across the center to the opposite wing. Off the pass to the near wing. He walks around traffic. Mona's with the block shot. Arkema couldn't get it out. Tribble gets it to the near wing for Hobart. He turns, fires it down into the Jaguars territory. 30 seconds to go in the period. Jaguars back up through center ice in the Flyers territory. Shot gloved by Milks. Middlehurst steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Through the feet, Martin almost picked it up. Loose puck, turned, fired, chipped over the net by Thompson's stick. That'll settle down in the back of the net. Brady gets a piece of it, sends it down into the Jaguars territory. Goaltender will just hold that until the end of the period. Martin in, applying pressure, and that'll do it for the first. Kicking off the second period. Middlehurst steps in. Jaguars win it to their own blue line. Both of them missed it. Middlehurst picks up the loose puck, lets a shot go. Gloved down by the goaltender. Middlehurst gets a piece of that one to Brady at the half boards. Thrown out front onto the Jaguars' stick. They'll clear it out of the zone. Thompson picks that puck up center ice. Turns, dumps it out. That'll do it for the Flyers penalty. Critchley out of the box. Middlehurst in over the blue line. Sends it, tried to send it to the near wing. Jaguars intercepted. Back to Middlehurst. Ripped off by the Jaguars. Shot blocked in front by Thompson. Loose puck. Jaguars turn and fire. Deflected to the near wing. Jaguars still with possession deep in the Flyers territory. Thompson swipes at it. Gets it to Mason, who is standing still. Shot off the blocker of Milks. Thompson swinging at it. Jaguars pick it up from behind the net. And he'll hit the net, and that's off. Middlehurst steps in to take the draw. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. He wins it to Martin. Martin takes up the far wing. Cross ice for Mason at center ice, in over the blue line. Mason shoots and scores. Flyers goal, number 22, Justin Mason. Assisted by number 29, Jackson Martin. 13:55 to go in the second period. Brown in for the draw. Come draw. Clark chips it to the blue line, picked up by the Jaguars. Pressuring, the Jaguars just barely get it out of their zone. Played off the near wing. That'll go off the side of the net. Kraus back to pick it up. He'll send it to Arkema at the half boards to Brown at the blue line. Deflected to the far wing off of Campbell's helmet, back to Brown. Brown up to Arkema. Arkema down the far wing. Gets the center ice and chips it in the zone. Clearing attempt picked off by Brown. He'll try to cut through center. Jaguars fired around the near boards. To the blue line, Kraus kept it in to Arkema. He's under pressure. Kicks it forward. Jaguars to the blue line and out. They'll turn and fire it down the ice for icing. Middlehurst in for the draw. Wins it back to the half boards for Mason. Mason turns and fires just over the net. Rebound. It's all the way to the far blue line and down the ice. Hobart. Nooks sets it up for Hobart behind his net. He keeps going to the near wing. He'll clear the zone himself. Up through center. Hobart in over the blue line. Shot from the far corner. Missed wide. Comes to Critchley to Tribble at the blue line. Tribble across to Middlehurst. Up to Critchley. Critchley tries to throw it through the defense. Mason picks it up, brings it to the far corner, leaves it there for Critchley. His centering pass hit a Jaguar stick and goes to the far corner. Middlehurst gets it to the near corner. Jaguars pick it up. To the blue line, kept in by Tribble. He turns and fires on target. Deflected to the far side. Off the glass, down the ice for icing. Brown steps in to take the draw. He wins it to the corner, picked up by Martin. He sends it behind the net to the near corner for Monas. Monas to Brown, off his skates. Jaguars intercept it, played off the far boards. Past Thompson, sets it down at the blue line. Brady kept it in, gets it to Monas in the far near corner. Monas to Brown. Brown back to Monas, runs out of room to Brown. Brown out front, shot, backhand, deflected. Jaguars clear that down the ice. Back to the Flyers territory. Thompson picks it up in the far corner. Sends it to Brady on the near side, off the boards for Monas. He'll clear that to the Jaguars blue line for Martin. To Brown. Brown had a puck rolling on him, couldn't quite settle it down. Picks it up, throws it out front off the side of the net. Jaguars picked off by Brown. To the blue line. Kept in by Martin. Martin walks through. Backhand, missed just wide. Martin tries to center it, hits a Jaguar, goes to the far corner. Monas. Monas spinning, puck comes to Thompson at the blue line. He sends it in for Brown. Brown under pressure, gets it to Monas in the far corner. Out front for Brown, Brady pinching. Martin got a piece of it. Jaguars cleared off the far boards. Down the ice, icing's waved off. Milks out to play it for Thompson. He sends it to Brady in the near corner. Brady gets bumped, gets the puck back to the blue line and out. Brown sends it back to Thompson in his own zone. Thompson off the far boards for Martin. Martin touched it into the zone. Cleared off of Martin, he kips it in to the far corner. to Moniz. Moniz bumps his man. Brown steps in, picks up the puck, tries to hit Martin. That goes underneath his stick, picked up by the Jaguars. They'll skate it out. In over the Flyers blue line, shot deflected to the near corner by Krause. He takes out his man. Brown picks up the loose puck. Brown just lost the handle. Jaguars to the far corner. Off the side of the net. Krause picks it up. Sends it to the half boards where he gets bumped. Shot missed a mile wide. Moniz at that far half boards gets a piece of it up to Brown at center ice. Brown in over the blue line. With room, shot. Held there by the goaltender. Middlehurst steps in to take the draw. He wins it forward to the far corner. Middlehurst to Arkema. Arkema to Krause at the point, across to Campbell, just out of his reach. Campbell does a good job keeping it into the half boards. Clearing attempt, picked off by the Flyers. Arkema tried to hit Middlehurst. Jaguars intercept, clear back to center ice. Campbell spinning, plays it off the far board, still taking it in himself. Campbell to the far corner. Middlehurst picks it up, tries to go out front for Arkema. Intercepted by the Jaguars. They'll skate it up out of their zone. In over the Flyers territory. Good stick by Campbell. Played off the far boards to the blue line, kept in by the Jaguars. Campbell has it in his feet. Picks it up. Middlehurst grabs it. Sends it for Clark at center ice. Clark in over the blue line. Turns and fires. That was deflected high over the net. Arkema gets bumped. Middlehurst picks up the loose puck. In the far corner. Back to Arkema. To Hobart at center. He'll send that into the corner for Tribble. Tribble back behind for Middlehurst. Hobart turns and fires. That hit somebody out front. Clark picks up the rebound. Leaves it there for Middlehurst. He tries to center it for Arkema. Back to Middlehurst in the corner. In his feet. Behind to Clark. Flyers are playing pretty deep. Back to Middlehurst on the far side. Middlehurst walks out front, shot. Stick saved by the goaltender, cleared off the far boards. Hobart winds up. Blocked in front by the Jaguars. Arkema with a shot, and it was in. Bit of a delayed call, but I think it was the right one. Flyers goal scored by number 8, Maddox Arkema. 7:51 to go in the second period. Brown in for the draw. Won by the Jaguars. Mason tries to get there first. Cleared back to the Flyers blue line. Thompson picks it up. Hits Mason at the Jaguars blue line. He drags it in. Shot missed wide. Rebound out the far side to the blue line. Thompson again off the skate of the Jaguar to center ice. Jaguars back in Flyers territory. Brown with a good back check. Breaks up that rush. Gets it to Brady. Thrown out front. Thompson intercepted that right in front of his goaltender. He'll play that to Critchley in his feet. Critchley gets bumped. Jaguars chip it into the far corner. Brady collects it behind his net. Out the far side, up for Brown. He let it go to Critchley at center. Jaguars dump it back in the zone. Brady back behind his net, out the far side. He gets it to Thompson in the far corner. Laid off the boards for Critchley. He gets tripped. No call. Thompson almost intercepted that shot. Nooks makes the save, reels in the rebound. Brown in for the draw. He's got it between his feet. Krause picks it up. Jaguars turn and fire, missed wide. Back to Krause in the far corner. He tries to throw it around the glass, just creeps up and out. Middlehurst in for the draw. Won by the Jaguars to the near corner. Krause gets it to the half boards. Jaguars get it to the point. Shot blocked there by Middlehurst. He picks up the loose puck and skates out of the zone. Middlehurst in over the blue line to the far corner. Drop pass from Martin. His shot was deflected high over the Monas in the near side. Mona sends it to Middlehurst out behind. Martin steps in, couldn't quite pull the trigger. Cleared to the blue line and out. Krause stops out at center ice. Takes it into the zone himself. Gets it to the near corner. Jaguars turn, get it around the far side. Played out front. Martin stabs at it. Keeps it in the zone for a second. Jaguars stretch pass to the far wing. Campbell. Back to the Jaguars blue line. It's hot potato it in center ice. Shot. Bad save by Milks. Rebound out the far side. Another shot. Save. Rebound. Missed high over the net. Monas to the blue line and out. Up to center. Just overskated it. Kind of slowed down the rush. Jaguars tipped that puck to the Flyers blue line. In the zone shot. Glove down by Milks. He'll play it. Campbell to Martin on the far wing. Martin gains the blue line. Takes it to the corner. Throws it out front for Monas. He scores! That's how it's done, boys. Flyers goal scored by number 14, Joseph Monas. Assisted by 29, Jackson Martin. 5:12 to go in the second period. Brown in for the draw. He wins that clean to Tribble back in his own blue line. Tribble to Hobor. He drags out over the Jaguars line. Pins the guy from behind, and he's going to the box for boarding. Flyers penalty, number 19, Jackson Hobart. 2 minutes for boarding. Brown steps in to take the draw, deep in the Flyers territory. From draw, Brown got a piece of it to Thompson off the far boards, down the ice. Clark giving chase. Goaltender mishandled, back to Brown. Brown with the backhand, it's in. Goaltender's getting a little lippy, I think. Here's an idea. Let's give him a warning instead of a penalty. Brown in for the draw. He wins it back to Thompson. Thompson turns, dumps it back in the Jaguars' end. That puck settles down behind the Jags goaltender. Defense play back and forth to the near corner. Off of Brown's skate. Jaguars pick it up. Tried to clear it out. Brown almost intercepted that one again. To the blue line. Clark gets a piece of it. Turns, shoots. Deflected by the Jaguars player. They'll get it up to the blue line and out. Brown applying pressure. Gets a piece of it to the blue line. Drags it in. Gets bumped. Brown on it. And Jaguars, 2 minutes for slashing. Very delayed whistle. A 4-on-4 for a minute 4. Middlehurst in for the draw, wins it, reels it back in through the feet, played to the point. Campbell keeps it in across to Brady. Brady Sends it back to Campbell, intercepted by the Jaguars. Campbell tries to shove it back in, but Jaguars back in the Flyers territory. Shot deflected wide. Campbell in the far corner, off the boards to Middlehurst. Middlehurst lifts it to Arkema, hops over his stick to the Jaguars' blue line. Arkema gets it in the zone. They'll call that offside. .334 to go in the period. Middlehurst back in for the draw. Gets it to Brady. Brady in over the blue line to the near wing. Chips it to the corner. Throws it out front, intercepted by the Jaguar. Cleared to the blue line. Middlehurst couldn't hold that one in. Campbell back in his own zone, picks it up. Hits the brakes, comes out the near side, mishandles it. Decides to take it out the far side. Stretch pass intended for Arkema, who's standing still. Shot. Milks holds that for the whistle. Move your feet. Mason steps in to take the draw. He wins it to the far boards, picked up by the Jaguars. They find deep space, turn to shoot, missed wide. Flyers man's out of the box. Obar back in, picks up the loose puck. Up to Mason at center ice. Mason lets that into the far corner. Picks it up, brings it behind the net to the near side. Lifts it high over the net to Hobar at the far half boards. Hobar in deep. Gets it back to Critchley. Critchley brings it to the near corner. To Campbell. Campbell under pressure, spinning back to the boards. Takes it in a little deeper. Gets it to Monos on the far wing. Or the near wing, sorry. Back behind to Critchley. Up to Campbell. Across to Hobar. He winds up, lets the shot go. Saved by the goaltender. He'll hold that for the whistle. Eight seconds to go in the Jaguars penalty. Mason on the draw. Scrum draw. Jaguars players have it in their feet. Critchley comes up with it to the far corner. He gets bumped. Jaguars send the puck back to the corner. Monas to Thompson at the point. Back into Monas. Back to Thompson. Thompson turns and shoots. Up down there by the Jaguars goaltender. Minute 48 to go in the second period. Brown in for the draw. Wins it to Martin. Martin with a shot. Well down by the goaltender. Brown back into the draw. Won by the Jaguars to the far corner. He turns. Played off the far half boards. Clark with a good stick. Gets it to Martin. Cleared to the blue line. Thompson just lifts that into the zone. To the near corner. Jaguars play it off the boards behind to the far side. Brown gets leveled, cleared to the blue line and out. Jaguars up through center, back in Flyers territory. Good stick by Brady. Clark picks up the loose puck. Gets it to Brown at center. Brown sends it across to Martin. They're going to call him offside. Jaguars played to the near boards. Cleared off of Martin. Couldn't quite keep it in. Thompson gets stripped of it. Jaguars back in the Flyers' own shot. Blocker saved by Milks. 1 minute to go in the period. Brown gets tagged. Gets the puck to Brady behind the net. Brady up through center ice. Gets the red line, turns and fires on target. Jaguars send it up the near boards. Brown steals it. He gets shoved. Puck comes to the half boards. Jaguars to the far side. Cleared off to Thompson, to Campbell. He'll send it out back to center ice. Campbell in his own zone. Sends that up to center. Off a Jaguars player. They'll pick it up. In over the blue line, shot. Milks makes the save. Krause clears the puck out of the way. To the corner, back to Krause. To the blue line and out. Arkema, applying pressure, gets a piece of it. We've got about 3 seconds to go. And that'll do it for the period. pauses, comes under. Middlehurst across to Krause. Krause misfired. Comes to Mason just outside the Jaguars' blue line. He'll lift it in. Loose puck picked up by Mason through traffic to Middlehurst's feet. Middlehurst in the corner for Mason. He gets bumped. Arkema gets it to the far corner. Puck comes to the far blue line and Jaguars clear it out. Steered wide by Fitzgerald. Krause behind Mason up to center ice. Jaguars will pick that up and fire it back to the Flyers blue line right to Krause. He goes for a skate. In and around one. Krause with the shot, deflected just wide. Krause gets a piece of it up to Middlehurst. He sends it across for Tribble. Missed everybody. Here's the zone. Back to Middlehurst. He turns and fires it off the Jaguar skate to Arkema. Behind Mason to the blue line. Up the center, Hobart. Territory. Clark applying pressure. Brown picks up the loose puck in the corner. Sends it across for Critchley. Brown steps in to take the draw. Jaguars pick it up off the far boards. Clark doing a good job. Ties up his man. Puck rolls all the way down. Middlehurst steps in to take the draw, wins it clean to Brady. Brady face off in the Jaguars' end. Middlehurst in for the draw. Gets it to Martin. Martin across for Brady with one-timer under pressure. Gets to the far corner. Clear to the half boards. Hops under Middlehurst's stick. Jaguars pick it up and clear the zone. Jaguars get center ice. Lifted into the near corner. Thompson. He clears it. Martin tips it to Middlehurst outside the Flyers territory. Jaguars running into people. Dumped back in for Thompson. Thompson stretched offside. Campbell does a good job breaking that up. Brown picks up the loose puck. Sends it across, intended for Arkema out of his reach. Icing waved off. Goaltender will hold it for the whistle. Brown in for the draw. To the near corner, picked up by the Jaguars. He turns to the half boards, to the blue line, hops over Campbell's stick. Krause picks up that rolling puck in the near corner, gets it to Campbell. Campbell, cross ice, picked off by the Jaguars. Krause does a good job getting back. Lifted to the blue line off of the defender. Krause dumps it into the Jaguars' end. Mason and Arkema applying pressure. Right off the far boards, hops over Mason's stick to Krause. He gets a shot off the side of the net, comes out front. Brown couldn't get there quite in time. Brown under pressure gets the puck to the blue line for Krause. He keeps it in, cleared up to Campbell at center ice. Campbell off the boards for Arkema. It's up. Hobart kicks the puck to center ice. Lifts it in just wide of the net. Middlehurst under pressure. Picks it up on the far blue line. Shot deflected back to Middlehurst. He chips it to the corner. Jaguars played around the near boards. Hobart. He sent it back in behind the Jaguars net. Middlehurst for Tribble coming in the zone. Couldn't get the shot off. Thrown out front. Loose puck. Critchley with a backhand on target. Covered by the goaltender. Middlehurst in for the draw. Won by the Jaguars. They'll play that down the ice.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, this hot thing. I got options. I can pass that play Stockton. Just Johnson. I'm spinning this whole day like my body got work to Tyson. I can put the ball in the end zone, put it back to the end zone.
Middlehurst back in for the draw. He wins it to Critchley, to Hobart at the point. Hobart with a shot blocked by the Jaguars. That rebound will come all the way into the Flyers territory. Jaguars pick it up, shot. Missed just wide. Rebound out the far side. Played in behind the Flyers goal. Jaguars throw it in. Hobart runs over his man. That'll draw a crowd. Nobody's playing the puck. Middlehurst picks it up. It's through Critchley, gets the lead pass to Clark. Clark missed the puck. Tribble throws it on target, steered wide by the goaltender. Right around the near boards to Hobart. He keeps it in. Picked up by Tribble. He'll turn, fire it off the far boards. Held there by the Jaguars. Inbeat tried to play it through Tribble. He got a skate on it. Clark. Jaguars turn, fired, missed wide. Hobart up the near boards. Stretch lead pass for Critchley. He gets pushed over. Brady picks up the loose puck just coming off the bench. Shovels that into the Jaguar zone. Critchley clears and goes back in on the attack. Loose puck bars into the Flyer zone. Brady clears it to the near corner off the boards. Overskated by the Jaguars. Thompson to Clark at center. A little just out of his reach. Back to Thompson in the Flyers end. Clearing pass. Thompson to Brady. Brady settles it down behind the Flyers goal. To Brown. One touch pass to Moniz in over the blue line. Moniz hits the brakes, drags it through to the far corner, thrown out front. Brown with the shot. Goaltender holds it. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Brown steps in to take the draw. He gets to Moniz. Moniz with the shot, blocked in front. Rebound goes to the far corner. To the half boards. One touch to the blue line and out. Jaguars out through center ice. Back in Flyers territory. Brown gets back in time, lifts the stick, gets the puck to Martin, who clears it to center ice. Back to Brown, in over the blue line. Brown through the D drop pass for Martin, couldn't get there in time. Back to Brown at the far half boards. Jaguars throw it out front. Martin keeps it in, gets it across the near wing for Thompson. Thompson with the shot. Rebound. Brown's shot missed just wide. Back to Brady at the blue line. Misfire, reels it back in. Still has it, couldn't get the shot off. Thompson dumps that puck back in the Jaguar zone. Brown turns and goes back in. Icing waved off. Thompson back in the near corner of his own zone, picks it up. Thompson through center, in over the blue line. Cuts through the D. Bouncing puck, kicked wide by the Jaguars. Hit off the near half boards to center. Campbell backpedaling, gets the puck into the far side of the Flyer zone. Plays it off the boards. Back in the Jaguars territory. Icing's waved off. Jaguars out the near side. Good stick by Arkema to break that rush up. Arkema in the near corner with the puck. Chipped off of him by the Jaguars. Campbell with the shot, missed wide. Krause pinching, picks it up in the far corner. Out front to Mason. Mason with the backhand. Loose puck, intercepted by the Jaguars. They'll skate it up out of their blue line. Back in the Flyers territory, Arkema bumps his man. Krause gets taken down, clears the puck to the blue line, not out. Shot. Missed just wide. Campbell in the near corner. Middlehurst steps in to help him out. Loose puck picked up by the Jaguars. They turn, fire it through the blue paint to the far wing. Arkema picks it up. Stretch pass for Mason. Touched at center ice and lifts it into the zone. Mason applying pressure. Jaguars to the near wing. Centers it. Mason intercepts it, drops it for Hobart. He couldn't drag it in quite enough. Cleared out by the Jaguars. Hobart picks it back at his own blue line. Takes it down the far wing. Stick check, back to center ice. Tribble. He'll take it in. Tribble. Across from Mason, one last minute effort of a block shot. Pops over Mason's stick. Middlehurst missed the puck. Here to center. Mason had a piece of it before the Jaguars strip and bring it back down to the Flyers zone. Shot blocked by Tribble to the far corner. Jaguars center it. Mason picks it up down the near wing. He gets bumped, gets the puck out of the zone to Arkema at center ice. Arkema in over the blue line. Takes it slowly wide to the far corner out front. Intended for Mason, intercepted by the Jaguars. I don't know why they wouldn't pass it up there. Middlehurst back in over the blue line. Loose puck, played to the near wing. Brady in his own zone, gets it across to Hobart. Hobart turns and dumps it in the zone. Jaguars to the Flyers blue line. Icing's waved off. Brady back to pick it up. Brady out over the blue line through center. Back in the Jaguars territory. Takes it wide to Critchley. Critchley gets bumped in the corner. Brown back to Critchley. To Mason out front. Mason with the shot, just over the net. Thompson pinching, keeps the puck in for a second. Brown gets back. Jaguars cleared out through neutral ice into the Flyers territory. Brady, lead pass to Critchley at center. Critchley wide over the blue line. To the corner, watch out front, loose puck. Brown couldn't turn and fire. Puck's bouncing. Critchley settles it down right at the blue line. Gets it into Clark at the half boards. Clark sends it to the corner for Brown. Brown tried to center it for Critchley. Hops over Thompson's stick, and that'll go down the ice. They say the Flyers touched it. No icing. Brady in the far corner to pick it up. Brady takes it down the far wing. Through center and over the blue line. Turns, fires. Shot was blocked. Bouncing puck. Jaguars pick it up in the near corner. To the blue line. Kept there by Thompson. He turns and throws it on net. Critchley in the far corner. He gets bumped. Still has the puck. Brown steps in to help him out. That'll get a whistle. Brown in for the draw. He wins it clean to Krause with the shot. Blocker save to the far corner. Back to Critchley. He throws it out front for Brown. Nice save by the goaltender. Minute and a half to go in the third period. Middlehurst in for the draw. He wins it back to Krause. Played off the far boards for Monas. Monas gets stripped of it. Keeps the puck into the corner. Monas got pinned, couldn't get a piece. Back to Martin to Middlehurst. Cleared out to the near boards. Middlehurst kept it in. Right back. Jaguars hard off the glass, down the ice for icing. One minute to go in the third period. Middlehurst in for the draw. Bouncing puck, cleared to the near corner. Jaguars play it behind the net to the far side. Mona's on his man, comes up with the puck. Steps out front to Martin. Martin turns. Bad save, rebound. Cleared to the near corner. Jaguars skated up to the blue line and out. Martin gets it back in the zone. Martin applying pressure, loose puck. Stabbed at by Monas to get into the near corner. Cleared around the boards by the Jaguars, up to their blue line. Pass across to the Flyers blue line, shot from out front. Held by Fitzgerald. He'll leave that one to play. Cleared to center ice. Jaguars back in over the blue line. Martin strips it. Goes down the far wing. Up to Monas. In over the blue line. Played behind the net. Jaguars, 3 of them. 6 seconds to go. Martin applying pressure in the far corner. Jaguars just send it around the near side. That'll do it for the game. Good job, boys.